Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. In this video, we would like to present our syntax analysis. We are from group 7 and the member of the group is Cinta Rahmat Hasari, me Farhan Mazis and Wahyu Taqiyuddin. So let's go to the next page. So the first one is T to C movement. In the auxiliary have move from the head T position of TP into the head C position of CP. Accordingly, the T to C movement manifested as the auxiliary inversion is also triggered by an interpretable feature of tense carried by the head, in which tense moves. Both uninterpretable features, namely U, W, H, and U, D, have to be eliminated before the derivational cycle to which they belong comes to an end. This is by Chomsky in 2001. The featural correspondence then in a clause where T to C movement applies is as follows. So from this, we can see the diagram before there is a T to C movement. So the first diagram, you can tell that this the head CP in position of CP is filled with null, uh, and there is an arrow indicating the movement of what is known as the T to C movement from the auxiliary head to the head of C in position of CP. Now this is the second diagram. This is there has been a slight change. So this is the after T to C movement. So usually the position of the head C of CP is filled with a complementizer. However, in this case, it can be filled with an auxiliary such as have, because the sentence in this diagram is in fact a yes or no question. So in the sentence, there is a movement of auxiliary have from the head of T to the head of C. This is what we call the T to C movement. The movement of the auxiliary have from T, which is the post subject, which means is position after the subject. In this case, the subject is you, to the C, which is the pre-subject, position before the subject you. This is called an auxiliary inversion. So in simple language, auxiliary inversion is the movement of an auxiliary verb to a position in front of the subject of a main clause. That's it for the people movement, and next will be presented by Wahyu Taqiyuddin.
And then the next, do support. Affix are attached to the host verb. The result of the verb plus affix substructure is spelled as the correct inflection of the relevant verb. When the affix cannot find a verbal host to attach to stranded, it is spelled as the proper inflected form of the auxiliary dummy or expletive do. And we can see the example I gave below to make the question, do you speak? And if I take the inflectional morphology and we move it down, then it's like we can, and then we want to make the question, we have nothing left in T to go up. So what we do? Well, we need to move something from T to C. So I put a dummy do under the T and then follow it, and then we end up with do you speak? The next slide will be presented by Rahma. Cinta.
Okay, thank you. Now let's talk about the WH movement. Especially it is the driving WH movement and auxiliary inversion. It is an important question which by analysis outlined above is what triggers WH movement. In a recent work, Chomsky has suggested that an H feature is the mechanism which drives movement of WH expression to spec C. And then, however, questions in languages like English are subject to the following condition, like interrogative condition. It is when a clause is interpreted as a non-echoic question, if, and it is a CP with an interrogative specifier that contains an interrogative word. If WH words like who, what, where originate within TP, it follows that the feature on interrogative C will need to attract an interrogative expressions to move to spec C in order for the relevant clause to be interpreted as interrogative in occurrence. Next slide, please. Now we can illustrate it how the H feature analysis of WH movement works by looking at this sentence. Who were you funny? The WH pronoun who merges with the verb phoning to form the VP phoning who, and its resulting VP is subsequently merged with the past tense auxiliary were to form the T bar were phoning who, which is itself merged with the pronoun you to form the TP you were phoning who. This TP is then merged with a new interrogative C, which carries an H feature. Since it is also main clause question, C will additionally carry the tense feature or TMS. So merging C with the TP you were phoning who will derive to the following structure. Next slide, please. The tense feature on C attracts the past tense auxiliary were to move to C. The H feature on the interrogative C triggers movement of the interrogative pronoun who to spec C. So it's deriving the structure shown below with the tense and H features on C be deleted once the requirements are met. And it arose indicating movements which take place in the course of the derivation like in this picture. So this tree's diagram is the superficial syntactic structure of the previous one. Who were you funny? A key assumption embedded in the analysis presented here is that questions in English obey the interrogative condition above, and it specifies that a clause is interpreted as a non-echoic question if, and only if, it is a CP with an interrogative specifier, like a specifier containing an interrogative word. Next slide, please. Okay, thank you. I think that's all for our presentation today. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.